Okay, going to try a trial run of the pop can crusher here, and just so you know, it's me. Here I am, big old beard and everything. Anyway, I have a flashlight pointed to highlight everything so we can see what's what and everything turning and all that stuff. So let's give it a run. Had to get some actual pop cans that weren't crushed yet. So, as everyone else shows, here's pop cans, uncrushed, flat bottoms, flat tops. We'll give that a try and go from there. I have the switch over here on this side, so here we go. And as you can see, it did not work. Now if we can try the bottom of the can, see if that works. Can's still good, didn't work. Now if I take a can that's already pre-crushed, just by using my hands, it will have enough wedge to get in between the wheels. This I know does work, so just to show that it can feed through, here we go. Well, taking a little peek here, nothing's on fire. Motor's decently warm, just as always, not terrible. And cans are pretty crushed. There's a few of them, just to show how thick or thin they got crushed. Everyone, all the other videos, they show how thin everything got. So, not too bad. But, anyway, the grooves in the tires, or wheels, I will have to work on. I will give you a nice close-up of the grooves and hope to see and show. I'm just using my tablet here, but as we can see, I'm hiding the light. As we can see, the grooves are relatively decent, but just to show at an angle of maybe how deep they actually are. Again, I'm hiding the light, sorry. So the grooves are so-so. I see my tablet auto-flipped. Sorry about that. So again, you get positioned just right here. First time, bear with me. So, as we can see, the grooves are, some are deep, some are shallow. Of course, I'm going to have to work on that. But for the most part, it will not do a normal pop can. So, this is me in all my glory. Thank you for watching the first video of the Pop Can Crusher. Bye-bye. Okay, here we go. Going to try to show a little close-up view of the can crusher. A little bit taller can on the top just to give it some more distance for the can to go. And here's my switch. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to see if I can catch a can and do it in slow-mo later on in what they call production. So here's a can, and see if we can get it mid-crush or all the way through and so on. I'll do a few of them just to show. Sorry about that. Obviously that's not tight enough. The top can came off. This thing came off. So just to make sure it's empty. Yep, we're empty. I have to put some tape around there. All I've got is just crimped. So there we go. A little snugger. Okay, let's try it again. Like I said, I'll do a few of them just to hopefully catch one in mid-crush. Gonna have to hold the tablet and do it one at a time. There goes another one. I'll do a few more. See if I can get it a little bit better here for us. Here goes the can. And I'll do another one. I'll try to stand back a little bit. That's not too terrible. Here goes another one. See if I can get a little bit lower and closer. That was a lot slower, so that looked pretty good. Okay, let's get another nice close-up shot. That kind of danced around a little bit. Let's try this again. And we'll do a couple more. And yes, it is just as loud as you hear it. So, here we go, is another one. Okay, as you can see, they dance around a little bit. I'm going to turn it off. And just to show the wheels a little bit, see that other one's still kind of turning a little bit. But as I rotate the wheels, it will show how the cans go in and everything. So if I were to put one in there, drop one in, so as you can see, the grooves will eventually catch the other wheel, and then it will bring it down in there. And if I can catch one of the grooves, bigger grooves, here comes a bigger groove, so hopefully it'll be right. Move that around a little bit. So the bigger groove just went right past. Anyway, you get the point, you get the gist. Now the next video, I will show it from this angle and showing them coming out and into the can holder, trash can thing. So that's all the cans that get crushed and where they go and all that. Okay, we're back, and as promised, I will be putting the cans in through the top here, and they will come through, they will get smashed, and they will come down into the holder here in a nice flat manner. And just to show what one of them looks like afterwards, nice and flat and crushed. So I'll turn the switch on, which is over here, and we'll run through a few, and hopefully I can do one of these big boys. Here's a bit of a difference in the cans, so hopefully this top down will work. We'll go through, hopefully it'll crush, we'll find out. I still have the can in here from before, so let me take that out. So there's the can that I was showing, getting lodged in between the wheels. Tighten this down good and tight. A little bit of hammering. So it's good and tight now, hopefully. And here we go. Obviously it wasn't tight, because it just popped off, but that's okay. It goes back on pretty easy. Sort of. It's a little busting at the seam, but that's okay. Work in progress. All this is there for is just to give it some height, so I can get some speed to drop it down in there. Got a bit of duct tape somewhere that I'll put on it, make it nice and strong. So as you can see, it's working pretty flawlessly. Every can's going in, every can's getting crushed. Even if it dances, it still gets crushed. Like one bag. I got some more here. That one actually popped out. Pretty cool. For that bag. try this one. I got the hand on the switch just in case. See what happens. Alright, it works. I'll turn it off just so we can see how well it did. And as you can see, that's a pretty flat ass can. And this is the regular pop can. So as you can see, it flattened it pretty damn good. Okay, it can do very tall Arizona cans. Get that on there. Not too much reflection. And the other drink of choice is Mountain Frost. There we go. Hopefully we can get some good slow-mo on some parts of the cans coming down. And just so you can tell, I've got a bit more to do. I loaded up a few bags, maybe 10 bags sitting there, so it'll work good. And thank you for watching. I don't do many videos, so apologize for the shyness and all that. Anyway, this is my can crushing machine so far. These wheels, just for knowing what they are, they're just there as bearings to hold the axles. Eventually I'll get some pillow blocks to take place of these wooden parts and these wagon wheels, so the axles are better, stronger. A 5/8 rod will be replaced from this 1/2 inch 13 threaded rod. So now that you know a little bit of the history of what's going on, and the pulley size is a 3-inch pulley. This pulley size up here is a 14-inch. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Good afternoon, folks. What this video is about is showing the pillow blocks with an axle, makeshift axle for now, on the rollers for the pop can crusher. What I'm going to show is these are not bolted on. As you can see, there are holes all the way through the wood. See if we can show it here too. As my hand goes underneath. So holes are all the way through. Nothing bolting it down. And I'm going to show how little wobble there is the best that I can. So I'm going to give the wheels a good spin. Let everything settle down. And as we can see, the bearing blocks are not moving. I'll do a top shot. Get the wheel spinning up pretty good. So as we can see from a top shot, it's not moving, which is good. Spin it some more. And we'll go on this one. Not moving. So as you can see, I was able to move the block a little bit out of position, which is okay. So they're back in position, pretty close to where they're supposed to be. Obviously the bolts that I have laid out here give you a nice tighter shot. This washer is to go on here because it's so close to the edge that basically the bigger washer here would come in contact on the wall or the housing. These bolts are 1/2 inch by 3 inch and 1/2 inch lock nuts. They are all stainless steel. Washers are not. They don't need to be. And here's the other sets of washers. I still have to get some washers for the tops of here too, but that's easy to do. So anyway, from a side view, showing what little wobble that there is. So far so good. Now in case you're wondering what this axle is for, this axle I just got done grinding up. You can see the grind marks right there. I'll roll it around a little bit. So it's got some grind marks from the Dremel, and finishing off with the file to 0.624 diameter of an inch. The pillow block's diameter right there, as you can see, it's a hollow tube. The diameter of the pillow block is 0.625. So I have to have it at least 1/1000th of an inch under just to make sure it works good. So once I get this remounted, I will set up the mounting holes. This is from the old one, so that's not going to be new. The mounting holes for the new pillow blocks. Position one kind of here for you, just so you can kind of see. So here's another one, and of course the other one will be set over here. So there we go. So you have two pillow blocks, not in the correct spot that they're supposed to be, but they will work. And over here are the wheels. There's my Dremel set up and stuff. So there's the wheels, the non-drive wheels, which will go in here. And got a nice longer shot. So far, that's my pre-assembly, whatever, look for balance, all that stuff. And maybe a little closer look to how this is mounted up, especially for you, Kenneth. I'm working back and forth with you. I love it. So here's the setup. This really isn't touching too much onto the shaft here. It's, I think, a 1-inch ID, 5/8 ID. And there's 4 different tubes to make up the difference, just so it's sorta aligned up, and you can sort of see inside. Now, also for you, Kenneth, these bolts are going through, there we go, there's focus. They're going through the rubber, and they're coming out the other end. And I will rotate it to show. Those hold the 2 rubber parts sort of together, so they aren't moving independently. Now, fortunately, each one is up against the frame rail of the pulley, and they're in the correct manner to where the torque is facing this way, and the bolts are right there. Bolts are right there to withstand that force. So again, on the pulley, you can now see, it's hard to do through the camera, that there's a little bit of a gap. So I flipped the pulley around to the other side, that other side of the pulley facing the wheels, not the other side of the wheels. And the pulley is not the best. I'll give it a spin and show you. It's just really warped. But so far, it's working. I'll give it another good spin. So yeah, it's got some major warpage to it. So if any wiggle action is happening from the motor that's underneath the cardboard, Mr. Motor right there. Obviously the light is not working for the video camera at the time. So anyway, I'll wrap this up, and thank you for watching. Okay, good afternoon again. I have put the newly ground, done up axle in between the pillow blocks. I have it loosely bolted. There are no nuts underneath holding it together, as you can see. Same on the other side. There we go. There's both bolts. Anyway, back to the gist. What I've got is both sides mounted up. The extra pillow blocks that are holding the non-drive wheels are unbolted. No holes. Got a drill. No holes yet. Any holes you see are existing holes from before. I've got a little divot. Get the light off of it. I've got a little divot right there that I measured before. That's where I'm planning on putting the holes. There's the other little divot there. But I have to align these pillow blocks first. These pillow blocks are not aligned at the moment. These are. They are self-aligning, but I have to put them in this position in order to get them aligned, because this one has bolt holes. I know, no kidding. Anyway, what I'm getting at to show is I have these lined up to where I can move the wheel, and when I do, you'll see the pillow block move a little bit to adjust. There's a little bump there. So, as we can see from over here, get a little bit of motion on there. I back up a little bit more. So as you can see, everything kind of moves. Being that these are free, move them back into position so they spin nice and freely. I'll get them tight against the wheel again. So if I were to change hands and hold the tablet, sorry about that, and I give it a good spin, it will spin the other ones. And as you can see, the wheels can now be lined up so the flywheel does not hit the non-drive wheels. So of course I will align the non-drive wheels close enough to come in contact with the drive wheels, just enough interference with the tops of these parts. And as you can see on my wheel, you can see how the can is chewing it away after a while. So you can see the onslaughts of the damage from the pop cans being crushed. About 20 bags worth caused all that. So yeah, eventually I'm going to need some new wheels down the road. Eventually. I have probably half a C-note in the bank, meaning 50 bucks. C-note's a century, for those that never knew, now you do. So I could try to get some different wheels with a 5/8 axle. This is 5/8, to be exact, 0.624. Newly ground and filed into shape, and used a micrometer. I will get that for you. A micrometer from way back in the day. Sorry about that. Here's a micrometer. Get the camera to focus here. There we go. Show you the name. Looks like a JV Slocomb Company, Providence, Rhode Island. This was my grandfather's on my father's side. And yes, that does say May 12th, 96. I acquired this before 1996. Yes, so that means 1896 to 1897 is when this was made, or at least the patent for it. So, to show the other part on it, it has the decimal equivalents for eighths, 30 seconds, and I believe that's it. I thought I had 64ths. Anyway, it's reading, I will show what it reads for 0.0624. And for those non-machinists out there, this is what 0.624 looks like. Let me get really close. Seems the tablet cannot do close-up. But because the tablet video light is on, we have some glare. But if I get up high enough, anyway, that's at 0.624 exactly, as close as I can get it with just a finger in one hand. So I use that micrometer to mic the diameter of the shaft. I did the same on the other temporary axle. These axles will be replaced with stainless steel solid. Again, these are hollow. If I can get in there just right. Let's try it this way. There we go. There's a see-through for it. So they're hollow, and of course this one is too. I can kind of see through on that one. There we go. So newly made, newly ground, but very old pipes. And again, it's funny, I got a button on my tablet that says AF. Not too sure what that means, but I'm sure it's not as FUCK as most people use today. Let this zoom in, try to. Autofocus, that's what it is. Makes sense. I've only had it for about 2 years and I'm still learning the stuff on it. Anyway, on these wheels, when I rotate them, you can see the shaft is not turning by the lock nuts. Sorry, lock set screws. They are turning freely on their own bearings, which is okay. I can deal with that. At the moment I do not have any way to lock these wheels down, but I will have a spacer of sorts or a washer to lock on there to lock them in place. The odds are pretty good. I'll just put a 3/4 inch, I thought I had it laying right here. A 3/4 inch tube. 3/4 inch tube. See, tube. 3/4 inch tube to go across. The ID is 5/8, so that fits in there perfect. So far, there we go. Lean back. Got a table behind me that I work on with the drill press and parts and nuts and bolts and all that good stuff. Okay, Mr. Metz rambling on. Just for some that don't know, this is the gold colored Allen wrench that I use to tighten up the set screws on the pillow blocks right there. You can get those from Bondus, a company that makes Allen wrenches. I have inch and metric. They are not actually gold. They are titanium nitrate coating, which is a gold color. But you can guarantee that you'll probably be the only one on your street that has them. Anyway, so here's the rotation again. And those non-drive wheels are not spaced out correctly, but And as you can see from the turning of the wheels, they are more true than what they were before, and they have some grooves left over from before that I will spruce up a little bit more. Okay, we just hit the 10-minute mark. That should be enough. Have a good evening. Until next video. Good afternoon again. We have completed the mounting and bolting of all 4 pillow block bearings. I have attached the belt to the motor. It's not tight, it's just on there. And everything is touching. I'll move the wheels. So there's interference, as you can hear it. Each little clunk is the cogs going and hitting and doing their thing. So we can see from the side. Sorry, just moving my drill. As you can see, there's some interference. You want some. You want some in order to make this wheel touch this wheel. This is the only one that drives. This one's just here. So these are now mounted up. Nuts, bolts, no washer on top just yet, just still testing. Small washer on here. Big washer on here. There's reasons. Reason, it's closer to here from the bolt to here than it is from this bolt to here. And the exact opposite on the other one, because wooden holes are never perfect unless really done up well. So this one got small washer because it's closer, and this one got bigger washer because it's further away. So a little standing back view of it. The non-drive wheels still need spacers, and so do the drive wheels. Right now, without spacers, the wheels can move. So I can still adjust. Yeah, it's still tight, snug, but so in other words, they can move back and forth. No spacers. Needs movement. Just realign this a little better. Thank you. A little better to see in person than on the camera. So another different view of it this way. And you can see how it's the drive wheel to the motor and pulley and everything. So if we were to rotate, sorry, I'm holding this tablet with one hand. Let's try this. So if we were to rotate everything, spinning decently, I will unhook the belt from the motor. Well, at least try to. Okay. Now the belt is free from the pulley and the motor, as we can see. So I will rotate this again to show you that the belt was not dragging on it. Okay, dragging a tiny bit, but not much. I'm sure if I turned it on, the motor would just spin. So in order to fix that, I just have to get down on the motor and lower it down some. Nice thing is, here's the mounting for, whoops, lost my balance. Here's the mounting for it. Now on the motor itself, it has parts. Let's see if we can see them. Spots on the motor that will let you adjust it up and down. And as we can see, I'm in the current down position, meaning the motor is as low as it can go. So the odds are good. Sorry, changed my mind halfway through. I will have to move. Camera's not focusing. There we go, let's hit autofocus. I will have to move these location holes, which are just in wood. There's a previous location hole on the wood. So, let's see if we get it to focus again. So I just move those Phillips screws up or down on the wood to adjust it. Okay. So that's the gist. And yes, still got some wood from drilling through the wood. Still got to clean that up. Nice little push floor sweeper will do that. And one thing that workers learn: do your work, get done with it. This day and age, videotape it. As they say, if you don't video it, it never happens. So when I'm all said and done, which I am for today, I will clean everything up. But it is nice that there is some adjustments on the pillow blocks. You can see a little bit of a gap. I'll try to use my pen. A little bit of a gap there. A little bit of a gap on this side too. Camera's trying to focus. There we go. And sort of the same on the other one. There's some gap there. This bolt hole didn't really drill the same distance from here to here. It was about 100 thousandths off, which is about 1/8 inch. So I had to use a Dremel and use a little cutting bit and notch out the rest of the wood. So as we see here again, in case you want to see it again, the interference of the wheels. And since these are still free moving, they will want to move. So I just adjust those a little bit. So now it's not touching the flywheel because it's so severely warped. It will work, and I will use it until it breaks. And then I will find a replacement, or I'll make one. Probably out of wood. But for 20 to 50 bucks, I can pretty much get a new flywheel. 14-inch diameter flywheel. Brand new, they're about 150 bucks. Pretty pricey. Used, who knows? Flea market, could be even cheaper on the who knows. But it feels good to finally locate exact positions to where that is, because locating this, I did not want to mess it up. So I took my dimensions from here to here, same here to here, which is just over 9 inches. And I've got my ruler here, and as we can see, let's see, tablet focus a little bit. It's trying to. Move back a little bit. There we go. 9 and 1/30 seconds. And now this piece of wood is 1/30 seconds longer. Therefore, 9 and 1/16, or 2/30 seconds. So these two pillow blocks are exactly the same length from the end of the wood. Then I measured the distance from each pillow block. As we can see, we're at about 4 inches at 13/16, I believe, roughly. So then I go over to the other one, and I'm not sure if they measure out the same, but the nice thing is these pillow blocks are adjustable, so the camera really focuses better, and I line it up better. We will see 1/30 seconds past the 24. That's what we got on the other side, 13/16-ish. So they are exactly the same everything, and I got these two pillow blocks lined up. Just basically semi-bolt one down and put an axle in it and bump the other ends just a little bit, and it fits in there. It'll move. Needs a good torque, but it works. And the OCD tip for everybody that I mentioned in the beginning of this album, all the screws, and I will show you, all the screws are facing the same way. Put the ruler there. There's all the screws, Phillips as well. They're all facing the same way. Everything nice is identical as I can get it. So we stand back and end the video. So far, so good. It will work good. I have a stainless steel metal bar coming on Tuesday, possibly Monday if it gets here sooner. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye. Good evening again. We have the pop can crusher with new pillow block bearings and new axles, and it's working, so we'll give it a go and have you watch. And as you can see, so far so good. Everything's working, and I don't know. Keep going until something breaks, and then I'll fix it. So until next time, you guys have a good one, and keep crushing. Bye-bye. Good afternoon again, folks. As you can see here, I have reinforced the frame just a bit. Still got some sawdust from drilling, but more so. 2 screws. Same over here. Got a new stockpile of pop. Straight from Aldi's. Called Mountain Frost. So here's the top. Pretty flush to the top. Again, screws are straight up and down. Everyone likes a little OCD or CDO. So I will turn it on and show you how stable it is. Let me try to hold this over here while I turn it on. I'll back away to show. As you can see, there's no wobble. Even though the pulley is wobbling, but as we can see, no wobble. And as we see, no wobble wobble. It wasn't so much of the big 14-inch pulley being out of center, 1/8 inch on the diameter. Total run out 1/8 inch. So that means 1/16 of an inch out of center, I guess. Maybe just 1/8 inch total out of center would make the whole thing 1/8 inch total out around. Point is, the legs, the frame, really wasn't sturdy. As it was a prototype, first done, so on and so on. But it was very top heavy, and any little bit of wobble or side to side wobble will go through these legs that are there and continue all the way down, thus giving the machine some wobble. I took the non-drive wheels and bolted this axle hub, the pillow block bearing, and bolted that, moved it away from the drive wheels, and turned the unit on, and I still had a wobble. So it wasn't contact or this wheel, the drive wheel, being out of round just a smidge, even though the non-drive wheels have been trued in. So far, put some 1x1 pieces of wood on there, and it worked out. So I don't have to try and drill a hole And yes, here's my leftover of my setups and everything. I don't have to try to drill a hole through this hardened washer that I tried to drill. And my drill did not do so good because the washer is hardened. These were the other ones that I was going to drill a 1/8 or 5/8 hole for 1" OD. And yes, these are calipers from Mitutoyo. And this part here and this part there, that is carbide. They are carbide tipped calipers. I paid around $130 for about a good 20 years ago. They're still kicking ass, they are still good. The little plastic thing got broke off, lost, whatever. So all I did was take some wire, bend it over, bend over the ends into the hole so it doesn't snag anywhere. And yes, these are calibration stickers. These calipers have been calibrated, and you can see the dates when it was last calibrated. So, this is sort of my so-called layouts, and in the middle of everything, everyone's got a junk pile. This is my junk pile. Here is the setup that I had for the washers, so I could drill a nice hole through it. Aluminum scrap pieces here, equal size. The washer was going to go here, be held in by the lower part, I'm trying to get low here, be held in by the lower part of these jaws and drilled. Well, coincidentally, that did not happen too good. So, let me just try to show you. That is what I was trying to accomplish. That is my drill hole through washer setup. And here is the drill bit that I had to resharpen twice. Once was just to make sure that it actually had a sharp edge, and it ended up dulling the drill bit. So here, obviously it had a lot left to go, but since the washers are hardened, it just sat there and ground away. But the drill's resharpened for next time, and I was just going to try to use the 5/8. I figure if it's a couple thousandths off, that's not going to be too terrible. So anyway, back to the pop can crusher. So far, no wobble. Cans are crushing through. I don't have any bags hanging. So until more pop cans get drank, obviously there's a bit to go. And my mother also drinks Diet Cherry Coke. So since that's pretty much the only thing that she drinks, and coffee, we get Diet Cherry Coke cans and Mountain Frost cans. Alrighty, you guys have a good evening, and as always, keep crushing. Bye bye.